3. Properties and application in food and pharmaceuticals. Aspartame has also been used in the encapsulation process to improve the properties of the payload, imparting greater stability and improving taste, color, and texture and extending storage times. This technique can be used not only in food industry, but also in cosmetics, agrochemical industry, and pharmaceutical industry to control the release of the drug. An encapsulated substance is enclosed within a carrier material, which forms a protective shell. In the case of the food industry, this protective shell must be an inert substance, must be food-grade, biodegradable, and able to form a barrier that separates the internal phase from the surroundings. Encapsulates can be prepared by spray drying, spray chilling, freeze drying, melt extrusion, and melt injection. In addition, encapsulation can take place by nano-encapsulation, in which nanoscale particles, 1 to 1,000 nanometers, are produced, or microencapsulation, with larger particles, 1 to 1,000 This difference in size is significant. Nano-encapsulated bioactive compounds have higher bioavailability, and their release can be more precisely controlled. Microencapsulation is usually used to protect substance from the influence of the surroundings, and to produce sustained or prolonged release drugs. The use of aspartame in food producing is limited due to its instability. Although it is stable in solid form, it is degraded in solution, especially in high temperatures or pH values above 6. Aspartame also loses its sweetness after reacting with several flavorings, aldehydes or ketones. Hence, there is growing interest in more encapsulated compositions of aspartame. The structure of aspartame, carboxylate and amino groups, allows it to bind metals and can chelate heavy metals from food, drinks, and the packaging in which these products are served and stored. Aspartame is also decomposed by baking. However, it is possible to protect aspartame salts, APM-H2SO4, APM, IHSO3CH3 and its metal complexes, Mg2+APM2Cl, Fe3+APM3Cl, Al3+APM3Cl, Ca2+APM2Cl, Zn2+APM2Cl by fats, thus allowing its use in pastries. Due to its high sweetness, aspartame is commonly used in comestible products such as chewing gums. As its sweetness is easily degraded in the presence of moisture or during storage, various substances are used to encapsulate it. For example, shellac, zuin, agar, alginates, ethyl cellulose, hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose, dextrin, gelatin, and modified starch. Gums treated with encapsulated aspartame remain sweet for longer, and the flavor is released during chewing. 4. Obesity. The world is experiencing an obesity pandemic. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, over 1 billion adults throughout the world are overweight, i.e., with a body mass index BMI per 25 kg. Of these, at least 300 million are considered obese, BMI higher 30. Overweight and obesity are associated with numerous comorbidities of great public health concern, including hypertension, cardiovascular disease, diabetes and depression, as well as breast, endometrial, colon, and prostate cancers. As a result of the aggressive marketing of food industry companies, the role of artificial sweeteners has changed from sugar substitutes to health substitutes. Foods treated with ASWs are sold as healthy alternatives to sugar, in particular for the diabetic population and people trying to keep fit. Although these claims seem promising, there has never been a sufficiently large response to this topic. Another serious problem with artificial sweeteners is their unregulated use. There is some research that the intake of artificial sweeteners by children aged 6 to 10 years exceeded recommended daily intake, ADI, by 54%. Other studies suggest that replacing sugar-sweetened beverages with artificial sweeteners has no influence on total energy intake and can increase future consumption. These studies also showed that the type of sweetener has no influence on appetite and hunger ratings. Participants compensated for the energy deficit resulting from the replacement of caloric sweeteners with artificial sweeteners. What is more, there is some evidence that the flavor of both sugar-sweetened and artificially sweetened drinks increases subjective hunger and therefore energy intake and weight gain too. These issues need further investigation. Unfortunately, Assessing the influence of artificial sweeteners on the growth and the number of obese people is very difficult. For some people, eating foods that are dietary justifies the consumption of excess calories from other food sources. Therefore, it is difficult to clearly determine whether the occurrence of obesity is specifically associated with the consumption of products containing artificial sweeteners, including aspartame, or simply with too many calories.